Hello to
Yep.
hello everyone in here. My name is Ariana, and you are.
I'm Maddie. I'm so happy to be here with Ariana. We
Yeah.
met in a clubhouse room.
Mhm.
We actually live in the same city, Oakland, and we're going to be talking about the topics of the week every week on Monday. So make sure you pull up every Monday at from 6 to 7. Come
Mhm.
through.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
6 to 7 PST. So 6 to 7 California time. We'll be on here talking about politics. I think Maddie and I are both very well articulated in certain topics, and I think we collaborate really well. And so that's kind of why we decided to do this, really. But anyways, welcome in. I'm also going to be reposting this on my YouTube channel. So
Yay.
in case you miss it or you have to go in the middle, it will be on my YouTube channel. But dude, crazy week.
Yo, it's so much is going on. And then today, Michael K. Williams passed away. He played
Ah,
he in The Wire, and it's just like really sad because like so many people, so many actors are passing away, and that happened, and then all the politics. Like we talked about how the abortion ban in Texas happened this past week. What else happened? Oh my goodness, I can't even keep
mhm,
track,
mhm.
but a lot.
Yeah, so the abortion ban, honestly, I've been really, really, really focused on the abortion ban. Um,
Hmm.
and and
Can I say my cousin says that she loves the rainbow flag in your background.
oh my God, tell her thank you, or him, or the pronoun.
Her,
Okay, her, yeah, tell
Monica.
her
Yeah.
thank you. I'm an ally, so
Yeah.
it's funny sometimes in the comments they'll say like, ew, you're LGBTQ plus, and I'm like, I'm just an ally, but you should probably leave anyways if you don't like the LGBTQ community.
Bags. What the
Like,
hell?
yeah, I know. And for the comment asking if we're debating, we're not. We are just here to have a political
What are you
conversation.
talking about? We about to battle rap.
Yeah, battle. Oh no, 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 no. I would. It would be like
I'm
who's
totally
terrible
kidding.
at debating. It would. I would be like Iggy Azalea, but like 10 times worse if we were to battle. I would. I would literally just sit here and be like, "Yeah, you won." I'm just gonna bear myself the embarrassment because I don't know which one of my haters is screen recording, and I would never want a YouTube video of me like, "See, she's stupid. She can't rap," and I'll be like, "You know what? You're right. I can't." So.
No. I'm sure you can do it.
Oh no, no, no. So can you talk more about the artist that died, the actor? I'm so sorry, I forgot. I'm blanking on his name. I
Yeah, his name
so many.
Michael K. Williams,
Michael K. Williams. Okay.
and he played in The Wire as well as this other show that just came out. I'm totally blanking on the name of it, but he was a really talented, exceptional actor. He started off as a dancer, and he did a lot of music videos back in the 90s. And what was so unique about him was that like he was a black man from the projects. He was also gay, like openly gay, but like he played roles that were like super gangster. So like it would just be like just because I'm gay does not mean like I'm not like he just had a lot of masculinity to him, and also he played villains like so exceptionally. Like he made you like almost like want to side with the villain. Like that's how like he was a master actor, like just really exceptional. And a lot of people are sad because he died of it's a drug overdose essentially. There was like fentanyl laced something, and it's what the craziest part is he actually just recently played DMX, who died of a drug overdose earlier this year. So it's just really unfortunate, because just like a lot of black men dying before the age of 60, which is like really young. So it's just a huge loss to the community, and I'm just like it just really is a reminder to me like how important it is for like artists to be able to be taken care of and for their mental health to be taken care of. And yeah, so that just happened recently, so like today, I think. So
It happened today. Yeah, and I believe he's like
yeah.
54. Something really.
Yeah, he was really young.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he
really young.
like 54 is really young in today's
It is.
terms, right? Like when we put it in
Yeah.
perspective. But I think it's so sad because also the lead actor in Black Panther, Chadwick,
Oh yeah.
Chadwick, I believe it's Boseman. He also,
Yeah, I think it's a.
yeah, he also died, but he had colon cancer, so that's very different. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's it's just so sad because like I feel like there's two things about this that make me really sad. Number one, I think as a society we don't appreciate people until they're gone. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
I just think that's
That's the
a
problem.
common theme in our society. And number two is that he was he had such a pivotal role in breaking so many stigmas, and I also
I
know he's an
know.
activist as well, because I've been seeing quotes of things that he would talk about, and I know he was an activist as well. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's so sad because I feel like, mental health is so important. It's just so important. Like checking up on each other is so important. Making sure that we're doing okay. Because to me, it's like, could this have been preventable?
Yeah, totally. I think that that's why I've been trying to like take good care of myself too, just because I think that right now, especially, people are. It's like this idea that okay, now all of a sudden we're supposed to go back to normal, and it's like, but what is normal? Like, and normal wasn't necessarily working for everyone, right? So that's a big problem,
Right.
and so people have this like pressure to go back to something that wasn't necessarily good in the first place, and it's a lot. It's really heavy. It's a lot to navigate and deal with, and so it's really important for people to like take really good care of themselves and like to identify what makes them feel good, what makes them feel happy, what makes them feel affirmed, and to like just keep doing those things as much as possible. So that's really what I've been trying to push on my page and everything. So what have you been doing to like take care of yourself? Because last week was just so intense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question. I mean, I think like post pandemic, I had to change a lot of things. Number
Mm.
one, I noticed that I hate working at a desk and I hate working a 9 to 5. It's just not for me. Um,
Mm.
I found out that I kind of like lost sight of who I am because I was chasing the job that had more money. But in reality, it
Mm.
was like, okay, I'm working this job, I'm making really good money, I'm living in the Bay Area on my own independently, but like deep down inside, I realized that I was incredibly unhappy with my life, you know?
Right.
Um, so that was one thing. Another thing
Mm.
is like also like going to therapy once a week. I go to therapy once a week. I don't think there's any issue with that. And what I mean by like
Mm.
therapy, I don't mean psychiatrist, and there's nothing wrong with going to a psychiatrist, but I go to a therapist every single week. I talk to someone,
Right.
and I think we just need to destigmatize going to therapy a lot as well, just because there's nothing wrong with sitting down and being vulnerable to someone, and asking them to help you. I think especially
Exactly.
in the community of color, especially in the community of color, I feel like
Mm.
especially so my both of my parents are immigrants, and it's like they to them it's like work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. Mental
Right.
health, is on the back burner because like survival is number one at all times. And
Right.
being able to kind of switch my mental and my thought process, and like, okay, I am the child of immigrants, but English is my first language. Like I can maneuver through the
Mm.
society a lot easier. So making sure that I don't adopt their work, 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 and making sure that I have a work life balance is also incredibly important to me as well. Um,
Exactly.
and doing what makes me happy. Like I just quit my job. I mean, we talked about this. I quit my job.
Woo!
No,
Congrats.
I quit my 9 to 5 because I'm so tired of working for companies that I feel like don't value me. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
now I'm working part
Right.
time for a nonprofit, and I'm a lot happier.
Mhm.
Although the pay is a lot. Like I'm taking a 2/3 pay cut doing this.
Mhm.
Um, but
But it's okay because you're gonna get money from other stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and not only that, but I feel like money comes in abundance when you believe that you attract money and you just trust the process. And it took
Right.
me
No, I agree with you.
so long to understand that. So long to understand that. Because if I sit here and I'm like, oh my God, like I don't have any money. I don't have any money. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up with no money. You know what I mean? But if I sit
Mm.
here and I'm like, you know what? I quit my job, but it's all good. Like opportunities are endless for me. Then the opportunities
Mhm.
are endless, and I've been seeing
Mhm.
that actually happen in my life. So what do you do for your mental health?
Yo, that's so real. Like I completely agree with what you said about you know, instead of like stressing, which is okay, it's also normal to feel that way because also if you grew up in a family where like, if you're first generation especially, like that stuff is like you've heard of epigenetics, right? It's like that's on top of your DNA. Like the
Yeah.
things that your family dealt with, like in Iran, like the war, the like
Mhm.
just all of the trauma that your family dealt with, and then to come to this country, like of course their mindset is like, okay, I'm gonna like just work, 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 work,
Yeah.
because like people literally right now are dying to like have my life,
Hmm.
and it's like you don't have to take that on, right? And I think you're so right in terms of like one thing I do is I really try to keep in mind that I'm living my own life. I'm not living my life for somebody else. I'm not living my life, based
Yeah.
on what everybody else expects it to be. Exactly. Like I'm living my life so that I can be happy. And like as I start to think about those things, I can unpack some of my money traumas because like a lot of us, unless we grew up with like a silver spoon, we have like traumas, and so like for me, I have traumas around like, oh no, what you get really stressed out, you get like, and it doesn't necessarily help. So what I try to do is exactly what you said is like I really try to focus on abundance and like focus on like, okay, like what do I need right now? Okay, I need to pay my rent, I need to pay like my basic needs, but then after that, like there's a little bit more flexibility than I'm letting on, like there's a little bit more wiggle room for me to like actually have a happy life. Like, okay, so my brother makes 70K, like that's great. I'm not making that much necessarily, but I have such a happy life and I don't work like these crazy hours for some pharmaceutical company that like does horrible things in the world. So it's like, the way I guess for me is like it's really important that I define my life for my life, and that's what one thing that I really try to do when it comes to my mental health. It's like that's key. Another thing that I do is have a daily ritual. So every day, I share this a lot on my page, but like every day I read for 15 minutes, write for 15 minutes, meditate for 15 minutes, and do some type of movement like stretching or exercise for 15 minutes. And I notice like a real like it has a real positive impact. Like literally, like when I do it, and I don't always like do it. Like sometimes I like fall off, but when I actually do it like consistently, I feel so much better and I feel hella productive too. And that's another thing too is like I don't have a boss, so I have to be super disciplined. Like I have two albums, they're short form albums, but I have to finish two albums before December. And it's like hella work, but like I'm like every day I'm working, I'm like this is so dope. I can work for myself. Like I can do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it. And that's really why I started doing coaching on this page too, because it's just like yo, like we deserve to live like fulfilled lives. We deserve to be happy and healthy and like affirmed, like we don't have to like burn ourselves out for like late stage capitalism. Like it's not what's up.
And I,
So
yeah, and I
that's where
think
I'm at. You
no,
feel me?
no, I do. I feel you completely. I think
Let me
it's
get
like
in the light. Ooh.
I know that's nice lighting. It's that like golden hour right now too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think, oh man, I had like a point I wanted to make. Well,
Sorry.
first of all, everything that you said, just no, you're fine. Everything that your eyeliner is super cute too. No, but everything
Thank you.
you said, like, oh, no, it's cute. The first everything you said like really like resonated with me, but it's just like it's like when I first graduated college, right, and I stepped into like the world of being independent and whatnot. I had two
Mm-hmm.
choices. It was like, okay, either go the corporate route or you're screwed. You know what I mean? Like, how are you
Yeah,
going to pay your bills? How are you going to be able to live on your own? How are you going to be able to do this and that? But it's like when you look at the grand scheme of things, is like it's like quality of life over like the quantity of money that you have. Because like I said, I was miserable. I was so miserable. Like always depressed, always sad. And oh, this is the point I was gonna make. So I think what you said about having rituals is very important just because I was watching like a psychologist speak on a panel and she was talking about how we settle for quick satisfaction nowadays, right? So like
that's real.
scrolling through
That's real.
TikTok,
Instant gratification.
right? Instant gratification, like scrolling through TikTok, eating out, you know what I mean? Going out with, to the bars and clubs, which is fine in moderate, in consumption rates. But you know,
Yeah.
building those habits, building those daily habits where it's like, okay, I'm gonna write every day, I'm gonna meditate for 15 minutes, I'm gonna work out. Like that is those are the types of like pillars of gratification that will stay with you for a very long time rather than, oh, I feel sad. You know what? I'm just gonna scroll through TikTok for 3 hours and feel like okay. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
investing your time into you and in personal growth rather than instant gratification is also a huge part of that. So that's actually really cool that
Right.
you do those like rituals, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they're really, really helpful. And yeah, just like having good people that you can check in with and talk to, that's also really important. 'Cause yeah, this past week I was definitely like triggered by like the like abortion ban in Texas. Like, can you tell folks more about that? 'Cause like you know all the like legislative stuff, 'cause you're so good with like politics and stuff. Like, can you explain what exactly they did? Like, for and some of the people viewing aren't from the U.S., so they might not know too.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. So in the United States, we're constantly fighting. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we have two
Real
states
talk.
in the U.S. Sorry, it's really loud where I live. So we have two states in the U.S.
Is
We
it
have
loud here? Am I being loud?
no, no, no,
Is it loud here?
no, you're fine.
Okay.
We have two states out here. It's Florida and Texas, and these two states kind of freestyle their whole entire state. But basically, Texas. So this bill, the heartbeat bill, was written in 2016 the first time. I can't remember if it was 2016 or 2018, but they started really pressing the gas on trying to pass it in 2018 when Amy Coney Barrett was elected into the
Oh,
Supreme
right,
Court
right,
justice because now
right.
the pro-lifers in the Supreme Court justice are outnumbered by the
Mm.
pro-choicers after RBG died.
Mm.
So what
Oh.
happened was they pressed the gas pedal, but obviously these things take a very long time to go through and get passed or whatever. So it got passed, and the pro-choice groups, like the reproduction is a healthcare right, like those, or excuse me, not reproduction, abortion is a healthcare right, like those groups that advocate for women to have that choice and have that opportunity to get an abortion if they choose to. Um, a lot of people appealed to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court did nothing. They did nothing to block it. So this
Yeah.
bill, what most people don't know is that this same exact bill has been, like, different forms of this same exact bill have been passed in states like Tennessee, Georgia. There's multiple states that bills like this have been passed that restrict the time frame of when you can get an abortion. The only difference is that those states were all able to proactively block it. Texas is the first one that wasn't able
Oh.
to block it. So
And it's kind of like they're gonna try to keep doing it now in other states now that they've seen that it's being able to pass, basically.
and the main issue with this, is that you know you can't sue the Attorney General of Texas. You can only sue the people that are helping the women get the abortion. So the doctor, the transportation, the person that helps her financially, or whatever the person's pronouns are, like that is the person getting the abortion is not going to be legally implicated. It's all of the people that help her, and it's people suing each other. It's not the states out of it, which is a provision that they made in this bill that makes it extremely harder to fight because you're not fighting one entity, you're fighting all of the people that are you're literally fighting all, like, it's like they put up a website and you can put anonymous tips on who's helping women to get abortion. And
That is like the craziest thing to me. It's like a witch hunt.
yeah, it's insane.
It's
It's
like
insane.
not okay.
And then if your like snitch tip on the person like helping abortions goes through and they end up proving that yes, this person has indeed been helping people get abortions past that 6-week mark, the person that gave that tip wins a minimum of $10,000.
Yeah, but the good news is that people on TikTok have been
Yeah,
spamming the site, which is so cool. That's why I love
man,
TikTok. See?
man. Well, TikTok trolled them, and then GoDaddy also said that they dropped them as a host site. So GoDaddy isn't working
Oh, that's
with them either. Lyft put out a statement, an official statement that they're not.
so weird. Like, what the hell? Oh my God.
So,
It's just insanity.
the thing that really scares me about this, the main thing that really scares me about this is that this bill went through and the Supreme Court did nothing. So it's like,
Yeah, that's
the way I look at this is that it's literally only a matter of time that other states are going to step that pedal and they're going to start implementing and pushing these anti abortion laws and restrictions. And it's only a large matter of time, in my opinion, that a case similar to Roe versus Wade will go into the office or go into the Supreme Court, and they will overturn Roe versus Wade because technically speaking, if a case did go to the Supreme Court right now, the pro abortion justice, or excuse me, the pro life justices are a lot more than the pro choice justices. They're outnumbered.
I like to use the term anti-choice too sometimes because like the pro-life concept makes it sound like they're good, but they're not really pro-life because they don't give a shit about children when they're born. So I like to use the term anti-choice. And thank you so much because everything you were saying is like super on point. You're just like so smart and like knowledgeable about like all of the aspects
So
of
are you.
the bill. But that's important though because like how do we can't fight back against things if we don't really understand them deeply. So like what you're doing is like super important. I was gonna say something. Oh, I feel like I don't know what you think, but like I feel like right now, especially like post pandemic, I feel like they're doing this especially because of the fact that women are having less kids and like women are waiting to have children and like and then also like I don't they obviously they don't care about to the kids. They just want more babies to be born because they want more like low wage workers and they don't yeah, like they don't really care about us. And so it's just really weird how like women's reproductive choices have become like this like point of reference for having like conversations and it's like it's so easy to speak for the unborn because it's just like what does that even fucking mean like you could ask people there's so many religions in the world you can ask people of different religions they're all going to say different shit about when they believe a freaking like little dot is a person or has a soul. I don't know why men in Oakland do that. Like,
I
what?
don't know. I literally have the same thing in my background too. It's like they all have their like
They always have to rev up at a regular
they
time.
all rev their cars and they constantly rev it too. It's like, dude, like
Yeah.
it's like every man in Oakland damn near. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, I was just saying, I just feel like yeah, it really made me think about a lot of different things and yeah, I was thinking about like just how hard it is for like mothers right now. Like I know a lot of mothers. My sister just had a baby. I have a lot of friends that have kids. Yeah, me too. So, and just like how hard it is, and like especially in this country too, because like some countries like you get like a lot of time off, and like the U.S. for like a developed nation has really abysmal like a lot of women get like a couple weeks and like you're literally you just like you were basically almost died like you're in and out of the grave when you like give birth it's like so intense and the fact that a woman has to like go through that and then just go back to the office and they're like literally like milk is coming out of their breast like it's just insane to me so I just think it's really unfortunate but also not surprising at the same time
It's funny that
because this is
it's
what we're up
not
against.
funny, excuse me. It's interesting that you say that because poor choice of wording. So
Mm-hmm.
Greg Abbott refuses to expand Medicaid or Medi-Cal, like
Mm-hmm.
insurance, state-funded insurance. Um, the highest rating of mortality in women that give birth within Black women is the highest in Texas. It's the
Oh
highest
my
in Texas.
gosh.
And the highest number of women that do receive these abortions are women of color within Texas. So, when you really look at like let's look at the argument that like okay, we care about these unborn whatever, it's a life, it's a soul, whatever.
Fetuses. Yeah.
Soul, life starts at conception, whatever, right? Like if you really care about these babies, if you really care about these mothers and their children and the blessing that they're leaving, why why aren't you doing more to protect Black women who are dying at the highest rate with pregnancy births in Texas? Why aren't you expanding insurance for lower income, which Greg Abbott has denied to do multiple times? Why are you focusing so much of your energy on women that don't want to have their babies? Like, there's so many
Yeah.
other things that Texas needs to focus on right now, in my opinion. So many other
Tell me
things
about it.
to focus on.
Education, all types of shit.
So, and it's just like, and you know what, like, I want you to talk about this on like a creative side. Like, how does this like impact you as a creative, like when you hear like news like this, and you're trying to like, because I know when I write and I go into my flow, if there's something in my mental bothering me, like I can't do my work, I can't do what I'm trying to do. So like, how does the like things like this impact you, and how as a creative, how do you like navigate through it?
That's a really good question. I think I try to find I definitely give myself time. That's like first and foremost. Like I don't expect to be like super creatively productive right after dealing with grief. I think you sometimes need some space from something that's like traumatic before you can actually create from it. But some of the things that were like kind of inspiring was like right before the ban, it was I was actually like posting. I think I posted about it already, but like Lil Nas X dropped the photography for his like album release campaign,
Mm.
and he's pregnant, and so like it causes uproar because it's just like men can have babies, but like actually, your gender doesn't determine if you can give birth or not. But all that to say, I really liked the way he was actually using this idea of being pregnant. Like he kind of makes fun of stuff, but like in a way that's like it's not that serious. Like it's serious in the sense of like mothers are gangsta and like mothers are like the earth is our mother and like mothers are powerful and mothers deserve the utmost respect, but also like this is normal, this is part of life, like this is like people get pregnant and it's like funny in a way, but then also the parallel that he drew between the conception and like pregnancy and your art. So like there are a lot of parallels with that, I feel like. So like when you first come up with an idea and you're like, oh, that's an idea, yeah, and then it's like you take it to term, like you decide to like take it to term. You're like, okay, I'm gonna actually make this like idea into something, because some ideas you decide to make them into something, and some ideas you don't. And so then you decided to make this idea come alive. You carry it. It's really difficult. There's a lot of labor involved. Then you give birth to it. Then you show it to the world. So I kind of liked how he did that. I think it caused a big uproar, but that's always going to happen with him because people are like hella closed-minded and it's like hella dumb. But I did enjoy that, and I actually I've been coaching mothers, actually mother artists,
Oh,
because
that's
my mom was actually an artist. Yeah, and like I just have a special adoration and love for like mothers in general. I love mothers, but also mothers that are artists too, because I think it sets such a good example for your children to be creative, to actually like show them that like their creativity is part of like nurturing them and making them feel like connected to their emotions and all these things. Like I just really enjoy supporting mother artists and creatives, and then also to keep in mind like with when it comes to abortion, like some women that are mothers have actually had abortions in the past, like so actually like it's quite common. And so like this idea that like you're either a mother or you're not a mother, and like it's just not that simple. Like women's reproductive choices are really complex, and we all have different lives and we all have different reasons why we decide to do one thing or the other. But like our reproductive choice is one of the most essential rights that we need to have, because like just think about how like the world changed when they introduced the pill. Like before that, we just had to like the luck of the draw. Maybe we would get pregnant, maybe not having sex. Like, you know how much that would have changed your life? So like it's funny too because they could have like gave men contraceptions, but it's just like I don't know. I could go on and on and on, but those are some of the things that it made me think about basically this past week, and it's pretty deep.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty
I think
deep.
no, Lil Nas is such a great example. But I feel like we also like when we talk about the pill, like this may be a little bit off topic, but the way they were able to test and determine like how the levels of hormones, the level of hormones that
Sorry.
work for women, is they literally went to South America and they gave women
Really?
in like, yeah, they gave women in very rural areas these, like the women that need money, they offered them a little bit of money and they were like, hey, like join our test trial. This was like way back when. And
Mm-hmm.
they literally had them taking these hormonal pills that gave them terrible side effects, like terrible, terrible side effects. In some situations, they weren't able to give birth anymore or get pregnant. And that's how they were able to tweak the hormonal balances in the pills that we take today. So
Oh
we
my God.
owe the women in South America so much for being for I mean like it was really like using humans as a test trial in South America for the pills. And many people don't know that either. You know, many people
They
don't know
don't.
that the first IUD that ever came out was made by a white man who used cotton strings on it and killed many women just by because of the infections that the women would get in their uterus. You know what I mean? Not only that, but many of the women would have birth defect, or they wouldn't be able to get pregnant anymore. They would have to get like a vasectomy, like things like that. So there's just so many nuances in everything when it comes to birth control. And I know this is a little bit off topic, but like women have gone through so much when it comes to reproductive stuff in general. Like
They really have.
we have gone
You're
through,
so right.
so from the dawn of time when birth control trials first came out for women in South America, women in America started dying. Multiple women started dying. There was a huge lawsuit off of the first IUD that was using cotton strings. You know, up until, okay, like only women are the ones that are supposed to be using the contraceptives and blah blah blah. And then now it's like, okay, now women aren't allowed to get abortions like at a timely at a time span where it makes it fair for them to be able to make that choice, right? It's always
Right, right.
been, to me, and I don't like to word it this way, but I feel like it's since the dawn of time, it's always been a fight against women's reproduction in general. And it's always
Because
been
they
the
know it's
woman's
powerful.
responsibility, you know? And it's always been
Mm-hmm.
white men. It's always been white men, you know? It just makes you really think like when do we catch a break? When do women catch a break in this story, in this storyline?
They're gonna make sure that we don't, because they know that like when we have reproductive choice, then it just opens up like a whole world of possibility for us in our lives and agency over our careers, over our relationships. Um, so it's a very pivotal. I can't say the word pivotal. Um, aspect of like our liberation, I think. And so like that's why they're so hell bent on controlling it, I think. Does anybody have any questions for us in our live? I
Oh yeah. Ooh, is she pausing for you guys too, or did she just pause for me? Okay, your connection is going in and out a little bit, but I think you're good now. But anyway,
Oh yeah, I was just like I couldn't see what time it was. What time is it?
oh no, you're fine. I got my laptop. It's we have 20 more minutes. But yeah,
Oh damn. Okay.
if anyone has any questions, you can definitely feel free to ask. We were really just gonna freestyle
Yes,
this
ask them.
essentially, and we have been freestyling it. But like the whole theme is just
And we're gonna be talking every Monday too. So come check us out from 6 to 7 on Monday evenings. We're gonna be talking about the weekly topics with the past topics.
yeah, yeah. So this week it was abortion and mental health,
What else
women's
happened?
rights,
What else happened?
reproductive health, and stuff like that. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious to see how. I'm super curious to see how this is all going to play out, because Joe Biden said that he was going to pack the court and whatnot when he was like running for office.
Oh, he did say that, huh?
And I haven't really seen much of it, to be honest. Texas just passed this. His, response was very measly in my opinion, and I'm just
Oh,
curious to see
really?
what happens. You know what I mean? I'm just very
Yeah.
curious to see what happens. Did you know that Donald Trump still puts out like newsletters and press releases?
No, I was wondering how that fool was trying to get in touch with people because it must be hard not having his Twitter.
He he
But I
has a
was like,
newsletter.
he's probably gonna try to find a way.
He has a newsletter list, which I didn't know. He literally
I
has a
guess.
newsletter, and
I
the only
mean,
reason why I know this is because there's this guy that comes on my lives. His name is Awakening America, and he is this like Trumplicant, just great Trumplicant, right? And he constantly posts Trump's emailing list on his story, and I'm like, I had no idea that Trump had an email list. I had no clue.
I mean, yeah, he's making hella money off of his supporters too. Like he like didn't they've done all types of like they've looked into his embezzlement of funds. Like he gets so much money off of his supporters. Like they're really brainwashed. It's like a cult, you know what I mean? So he's just like, hey, like donate to such and such so that I can do this and that. And like people pay like that tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Like I'm not surprised at all because he's not gonna like just let go of that. He's got a huge fan base, support base. Same difference. Because if you really think about it, girl, like during this last election, like Biden didn't win by that much. It wasn't
Yeah,
like a landslide victory.
yeah.
So all those motherfuckers like are still thinking the way they're thinking, and they're finding new ways. They're finding their own ways to have conversations about their own crazy shit. Oh my god, my friend Erica's making fun of me. I'm gonna put her in the live. Come here. She's running away.
Oh my god, no, I
She's
feel
making
like
fun of me.
honestly, I was literally some of my like some of the people that watch my like, lives and stuff like that, they're like, "Oh, are you single? Do you have a boyfriend?" And I'm just like, I don't think you know what you're asking for because I literally sit in front of a ring light for most of the day and I just talk about like, do you really know what you're asking for? I don't really think you do. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
we look kind of crazy, like when you actually think about it.
No, we really do, but I've embraced it. I'm like, I have fun, like TikTok is hella fun. Of
Yeah,
course, all things in moderation, but I have so much fun on this app. Like when I'm on IG, I feel like shit, and when I'm on Twitter, sometimes Twitter's cool, but I just really like TikTok.
me too. Me too. I think you know what it is. I think TikTok is an open space for people to be who they are. I think on Twitter and Instagram, there's like kind of like the societal pressure to like look a certain way, act a certain way. But I feel like on
Yeah,
TikTok, you can really just express yourself the way that you want to. And if people vibe with your messaging and what you're putting out there, they'll follow you. And it isn't that like
exactly.
pressure of like, oh my god, what am I wearing? Am I wearing the same shirt? Like, it's not like Instagram where it's like, oh, like, where do you take a picture, blah blah. Like, and although like Instagram just sucks. Like they're trying to promote reels and
They're
it's
trying to
just
make everything so expensive. Like you have to pay to get your post seen by your followers.
I also think the supporter base that you build on TikTok is very authentic as well because I have a number of people that support my content on TikTok and I genuinely consider them my friend. Like I genuinely.
Yeah, no, I really love people on here. Like I feel like I really get along with them, and like people will like comment on my posts, and then I'll look at their profile. I'm like, this person seems really cool. Like I actually would love to like meet this person in real life. Like even you and me, like it's like, oh okay, like I looked at your TikToks, and then like even when we were in the clubhouse room, I was like, oh she's progressive. Like oh okay, like we're gonna like get along, and so it does really help you find your people in a way, and that's one thing I do like about it. So
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
still here.
I feel like the algorithm helps you. And also, like, TikTok is very addicting as well, right? So it's like you make one post, it goes viral, and then you're like, okay, like you become so addicted to going viral again. Well, I keep getting called a liberal in my live, so are you guys progressive? I'm just kidding.
I love how they think like liberal is like such a big deal, and it's like, yo, we're like constantly fighting the liberals to like be more
Right!
left. So
Right!
like
And I'm like, no, yeah, actually, liberals annoy me too. Like, everyone annoys me. If you listen to me, you'd understand that. Literally, I was fighting with this girl on my life. Well, not fighting, but I was like having this
Arguing.
We should talk about this too. They were trying to convince me that reverse racism exists.
Even in even in the phrase reverse racism, it reverses itself because the reverse of racism would be no racism. It would be like equality. The reverse racism, like think of the actual word. Reverse racism, what's the opposite, the reverse of racism? Equality.
Right.
So when you say reverse racism, it's an oxymoron in a sense of like you're already admitting that the word racism has to involve a white person and a non-white person, like, or like that's the only racism that really exists. You can be prejudiced, like as a person of color, you can be prejudiced against like a white person, but like you don't have the power to like you don't have the structural power to actually have an impact in like the vast majority of white people's lives. Whereas when white people are prejudiced and racist, they like fuck up all of our lives and make all of our lives living hell. That's like the difference.
Oh my god, see, this is why I like you, because you can explain theory and like the definition of stuff a lot better than I can. So they started calling me a racist because I don't believe in reverse racism. And I was like, listen, a white person, like, no one locks their doors when a white person walks by. No one racially profiles white people. No one, like, you can be a white crackhead and no one will want anything to do with you. Like, no one will, you still won't get profiled. You know what I mean? But when you're black, you can just be like sitting there and you get attacked, you know, which has happened multiple times. Literally, the word Karen came from the woman at Lake Merritt that called the cops in our city.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn,
I always forget about that. Oakland starts hella shit. Oakland always starts the shit that's like happening, and we forget. Like, damn, that started here.
Bro, literally the word Karen started where you're at right now. That's the crazy thing.
Wow.
That's the crazy thing. People don't realize that, and it's just like, dude, don't try to convince me, a very clear, visible woman of color, that reverse racism exists, because it doesn't. Like, there's no such thing as reverse racism. You can be mean, or you can like have a prejudice towards white people, like as an individual, but as far as like systematic racism or not a thing.
It's just like reverse sexism, which doesn't exist either, because you can be prejudiced against men, but like at the end of the day, like we're living in a patriarchy. So like the prejudices that men have against us, the sexism that men have against us, literally restricts our reproductive rights and makes rape culture a thing and makes it so we can't walk down the street without getting sexually harassed. Like these are like that have real effects in our lives, and so it's the same with classism. You can't, like, saying eat the rich isn't like, oh my god, that's reverse classism. It's like, no, like, rich people, we're like being prejudiced, yes, maybe against rich people, but at the end of the day, it's like, do you think fucking Jeff Bezos gives a flying fuck? No, he doesn't, because he's like a billionaire. He has like so much money, he can't even like ever spend it in like 30 of his lifetime. Okay. All the bikers are coming out.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, it's okay. All good. All you're going to hear is revving for the next 5 minutes. Okay, dude. It was so nice speaking to you, Maddie. Seriously.
Yeah, okay.
Always nice.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.